So I'm about to go for a run in the snow and the sleet. It feels like 7 degrees outside, so that should be a lot of fun. So I just wanted to share with you guys before going out there some tips I have for running outside. So the first tip I have is to kind of shuffle your steps. Um, it's really easy to slip and fall if you're kind of taking your normal long loping stride, so you want to kind of shuffle your steps. So if you do kind of hit a slick patch of ice, you've got the other foot coming down right after it. Number two is to wear trail running shoes if possible. First of all, trail running shoes tend to be a little bit better at not soaking up water, but they also have better traction on the bottom of the foot, so that you don't slip as easy. The other thing I see quite often is runners wearing hats. For me personally, hats don't really do much. I feel like that I can get better heat retention if I wear a gaiter instead, and a lot of your heat is lost through your face, not through your head, unless maybe you're bald. The next thing, the fourth thing I would say is when you're thinking about running in the winter, don't say I have to run in the cold or I have to run in the snow. Say I get to play in the snow, just like you might have said when you were a kid. You know, you were waiting all day to be able to play in the snow. I would kind of approach it the same way. I think it'll shift how you feel about running in the colder months. The fifth thing is to pay attention to feels like temperature, not just the actual temperature. So today is about 25 degrees outside, but it feels like 7 degrees based on the wind and in the humidity and things like that. That's a huge difference with running. Wind will make it feel substantially colder, so keep that in mind. The sixth thing I would say is you can usually plan to run with gear as if it's 20 degrees warmer than it actually is. So today it feels like 7 degrees outside, so I could probably plan to run as if it was like 27 degrees, let's say, as if if I were just going out and playing in the snow or standing or walking, I'd have to dress quite a bit warmer. Or let's say if it were 50 degrees outside, I could probably wear shorts and short sleeves. Assuming it feels like 70 once you start running. Whereas if I was just walking or standing around, I'd probably want to wear a jacket and long pants and maybe even gloves. The seventh thing is that, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, but hands, feet, and neck/face are the things that get the coldest. So you definitely want to have a plan for how to protect those areas from the cold. For me, I like being able to use my hands to use my phone or to get nutrition. So I generally and I also lose gloves pretty easily. So I tend to wear just the cheap mittens. And then what I do within those mittens is I make a fist oftentimes, or I put my thumb in between my other four fingers. This allows my hand to stay warm by kind of making it compact so that my body's kind of warming itself. And I find that really helps. I'll also double layer my socks so that I get an extra layer of protection. And like I said before, wear shoes that are pretty good at water retention. And then of course for the face, I wear a gaiter. And that seems to work really well. I can even cover my mouth and my nose if breathing is very cold. So eighth and kind of the last tip I have is, if possible, try to run against the wind in the first half of your run and then with the wind on your last half. If you try to do it the other way, where you're running with the wind on your way out, you'll tend to sweat more because you get hotter. It's not as cold. And then on the way back, when you're going against the wind, it's colder and you have the wind blowing against that sweat. So it just tends to freeze and you get really cold on the second half of the run. So that's a mistake I've made before, and it's not all that fun on the second half of the run. So I hope you enjoyed those tips. Now I'm going to go outside and get my run done.